Ladies and gentlemen of the congregation, welcome to Anime Church. I would like to start off this gathering on this lovely Sunday afternoon by saying, Meep. It's great. Hi. Hello, everyone. We're going to do things a little bit in reverse order from how we've been doing it the last few weeks. We're going to actually talk about the Last of Us episodes and the last three episodes of Vox Machina at the end of the show because there's so much to cover. I wanted to actually get the show discussion of actual anime content and gaming content and nerdy content because there's a lot of stuff that we have to talk about. I wanted to actually get a chance to talk about that stuff first and actually talk about like the nerdy stuff, talk about that in advance, and then get to like the review stuff of the actual episodes because we're going to spend a bit of time on that because we've got 2 episodes of The Last of Us that we're going to be talking about. We already watched episode 5. So episode 4 and 5 of The Last of Us, we saw both episodes. So we're going to review those together. I think it actually works better if we review those episodes together. Who dares hide behind an icon and background? Spider Moon can do what he wants. Moon and oh no, Fenris is here now. He just got here and he had to go off and get stuff real quick. So, shut the fuck up and don't judge him. Moon can do what he wants. Shut up. But yeah, we're gonna do things a little bit in reverse. We're gonna do the Last of Us review and the last 3 episode reviews of Vox Machina at the end of the show, not the beginning of the show. Because we spent so much time at the beginning that we kind of rushed through all of our stuff last week. I felt it was better if we actually do them at the end of the show so we can actually take our time with that stuff. And actually, you know, we can actually talk about the nerdy news that we have. And it just feels better this way. Just ask, who dare say. So thanks for answering. You're welcome, but I can be a dick about it if I want to. Because it's my show. Also, I'll stand up for the people who co-host my show with me. You come after my co-host, I'll fuck your shit up verbally. Yeah. I'll defend my people. Yeah. Yeah. I stand up for my people. Yeah. All right. I'm also going to talk a little bit about some of the shows that I watch. If you don't know, Thursdays, I'm doing anime watch-alongs over on Twitch. They're not going to be VODs. They're not going to be saved. If you miss it, feel for you. But I will be doing watch-alongs for a few hours starting at 4 p.m. Central Time. This is the best I can do so that people in the UK have a chance to watch them. I know it's still pretty late in the UK. It's going to be about like a 6-hour difference, somewhere around there. It's like a 6-hour difference. Jesus Christ. So it's still like 10 p.m. in the UK when I'm watching. Sorry, people in the UK. I'm doing my best. But that's the earliest I can do it because I still got to give people over here a chance to actually see them too. I'm sorry. Best I can do. We're not saving the watch-alongs. We're not doing it that way. I'm sorry. Best I can do. Sorry. We're not saving them. I'm not editing that shit. This is not becoming a reaction channel. These are just simple watch-alongs. I don't know what to tell you. I know. This is not a patron thing. If you want the reactions, that's Moon's thing. He has started watching Konosuba, and he's already finished season 1 because he already talked to me about it, and he was like, he's already like, God damn, I love this show. So he's in love with Konosuba. So there we go. We'll talk a little bit about that. I am vamping a little bit just to kind of pad out time for the beginning, but also, once again, for all of our patrons, the newest episode of Slap Happy Chaps, 7 Deadly Sins. That's the name of the show. 7 Deadly Sins, parody abridged series, is up on our Patreon. So go check that out. And while you're there, please vote on the series that you think I should check out next. we don't have a lot of votes up right now, and that's very sad. I'm checking right now. We've only got, dude, we've got like a lot of patrons. We have 83 patrons, right? 83 patrons, 13 votes. Only 13 votes. So that's telling me a lot. Not many of you are participating. Oh, by the way, another update that I need to point out. This is just from my channel, my stuff. I just want to go ahead and point this out while I have people around. This is just for my channel stuff. I know this is a Fat Dog thing, and I should just be promoting Fat Dog, but I needed to go ahead and put this one out there. The update is for the Dead Space thing on my channel stuff. It's now just $20. That's the update. I got most of that taken care of kind of on my own. I only need $20 for the Dead Space remake. So for those of you that want to watch my ass play another scary game because you hate me, or maybe you just love watching me play scary games because you love to watch me just get scared. Yeah, we're only $20 away from that goal. So there we are. So yeah, I just wanted to put that one out there. But that's a limited time thing because I know that something is going to kick in on my PayPal pretty soon. And then that goal is going to change very soon. And it's not going to be $20 any longer. It's going to be something else pretty soon. It's going to go down to like, it's going to go back up to like $30 or $40. And it's going to change pretty soon. Anyway, just wanted to let you know, a quick update on that. And I promise that's the only thing I'm going to plug for my channel. It is what it is. Currently right now on the voting thing though, Eminence and Shadow is the one that's ahead. Apparently next week is the last episodes of Eminence and Shadow. In second place, very far behind in second place. God, you guys are overwhelmingly voting Eminence and Shadow. It's at 54%. But in second place is Made in Abyss, which, yeah. And that's all of Made in Abyss. By the way, I want you guys to understand this. These are series that I want to quickly point this out, guys. These are series that I'm starting at the very beginning. The only one that I have seen out of all of these 5 series that I have you guys voting on, I've only seen season 1 of Made in Abyss, and I'm rewatching it from the jump because I haven't seen the 3 movies and I haven't seen season 2 of Made in Abyss, and it's been so long since I saw season 1 that I need to do a refresher. I remember some basic shit about season 1, but I need to rewatch everything for season 1. Cool. And Made in Abyss is one of those, holy shit, I know I need to do a refresher. And you don't go into Made in Abyss to have a, all right, Made in Abyss is one of those shows where the artwork and everything, like, it is, it's a trap. It's a fucking trap because the artwork is gorgeous and beautiful, and the color tones, everything is designed to look beautiful and happy. And that show is depressing.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah. That show is going to break you. It is going to take your feels and it is going to drop the people's elbow on your feels. It is going to kick you. It is going to kick your heart in the dick.
I get enough of that from The Last of Us. What's up?
Yeah, we have a lunatic here.
Made in Abyss is kind of like the anime equivalent of The Last of Us in some ways. Except it's all about children. Yeah. Which I know you missed this because you weren't around. We're going to talk about The Last of Us and Vox Machina stuff at the end of Anime Church, not at the beginning. All right.
Fair.
So that having been said, now that you're back, we're going to jump into the news. So.
Sorry,
Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah.
We're dumb, not blind. All right. So first things up. Where did Pokemon Detective Pikachu 2 go? Okay.
Wait, did we already introduce ourselves?
No, we did not. Because
we should probably do that.
Nah. Okay, maybe a little bit. I mean, we're not going to introduce you.
Oh,
Not like that.
I mean, I have to fix myself. I'll be right back, everyone.
You have to fix yourself. You have to.
Not sponsored.
You have to, you have to actually like. If the rest of us are,
don't
I
know,
even
look at
tucked in
me,
my
but I even
effing
did
shirt.
this.
You can go f yourself, sir.
No, look, it's part of the look. It's funny.
I tucked
Like, I
in
pulled
my
this out,
effing
I did
shirt. Go to
this.
hell. I buttoned up all the buttons, and I tucked in my shirt. If I have to do it, you have to do it. Dress the part, asshole. Hi, I'm Richie Roberts, your Minister of Science and Technology. Fenris, please introduce yourself.
I am Fenris Sauron, the current Saint of Snackos.
And never mind this jerk. He's not even dressed up.
I'm
Yeah.
Moonlight Sparks, your Minister of
No one important.
Arceus.
Yeah. What's really interesting, ladies and gentlemen, and he does not realize that on stream I have muted him. Yeah, so this whole time that he's talking, he does not realize that until he actually gets his shit together, he has been deplatformed. That's the beauty of I run this shit. Sleepy moon, drunk moon, he's a hot mess. Warm kitty, soft kitty, little ball of fur. All right, good. There we go. Please introduce yourself to the chat, man who is now cleaned himself up.
I am Moonlight Sparks, your Minister of Arceology, and apparently Richie does not like the
As soon as you went off script, I muted you again. Yeah. See? I will not have any of this insubordination. Yeah, see? That's the beauty of having control over the mute button.
It's the beauty of being a fucking asshole.
Yeah. You know what? I kept that one in because I like being the asshole. So.
Oh, shut up.
I'm not the also get it right. I'm not the asshole. I'm the whole ass. Both cheeks.
You got that right.
Yeah.
Damn.
Both cheeks, motherfucker. All right, so
That's a pretty big one. Let's be real.
all right. You know what the beauty of this is? I keep forgetting that I don't have to mute the stream. I have control over the Discord. I can just mute you.
You've been muting the screen this entire time?
I've been muting just the stream. I don't need to mute the stream.
No, you don't.
I've been muting you on OBS. I can just mute you. I can just server mute you.
My man, are you like more tired than me? I feel like that's impossible.
No. Anyway. So here's the important part. So Pokemon Detective Pikachu did a thing. Those heralding HBO's The Last of Us as finally lifting the video game adaptation curse must forget Legendary Entertainment and Warner Brothers Pictures' 2019 release, which brought the Pokemon game franchise to live action for the first time, and to the tune of positive reviews of 430 million worldwide. I'm not going to sit here and say that Pokemon Detective Pikachu did for the gaming to live action what The Last of Us has done. No, it definitely didn't. It hasn't, and it sure as shit didn't do what Sonic the Hedgehog did. Pokemon Detective Pikachu was good, but I'm gonna be honest. I only saw it the once. I saw it in theaters. It was cute, but I never saw it again.
I watched Detective Pikachu like 5 times after.
Well, you're kind of a Pokemon fan, and I'm not.
I very much am.
Yeah.
Also, like, Seeing the Pokemon come to life
here's a difference.
fucking amazing.
Also, here's another thing. Here's another thing I want to point out. I'm also not a Sonic the Hedgehog fan. And I watched the Sonic the Hedgehog movie multiple times.
To be real, part of that is just because Jim Carrey is fucking amazing.
To be fair, Ryan Reynolds is fucking amazing, but I didn't watch Detective Pikachu multiple times either.
Yes.
And
I watched Detective Pikachu once, and the only scene I still remember is sad Pikachu singing the Pokemon theme song,
which is goddamn hilarious.
It was amazing.
To be fair,
I remember
here's the thing. In my mind, and keep in mind, I don't place Jim Carrey higher than I place Ryan Reynolds. They're actually in the same tier in my mind. They're of a similar caliber of comedy and acting caliber. They're both amazing. I put them in the same level. You know, they're both high quality people. So to sit here and go, oh, people must have forgotten about Detective Pikachu. No, I didn't forget it. It's just, if we're going to be like trying to compare stuff, excuse me, sir, Sonic the Hedgehog is the superior quality video game film if we're going there. Also, you're trying to compete. You're sitting here going and comparing a television franchise to a film.
It was a video game franchise first.
Yeah, well, yes. Also, if you're going to compare Pokemon to The Last of Us, I'm sorry. The Last of Us kicks Pokemon's ass just from a narrative standpoint alone.
Very.
And then if we're going to go into gameplay, just from a gameplay standpoint, I'm sorry. There's And I'm not saying that Nintendo, I'm not saying that Nintendo doesn't have some bangers, but if you're comparing PlayStation to Nintendo, bro, that's just not fair. Why would you do that to yourself? Come on, guys. I'm just saying, the person that wrote
I feel like
this,
that argument is very subjective. Very subjective. I'm not exactly a Sony fanboy, but come on, man. Look, I understand.
But
Sony has a lot of good games going for them, but
they do.
I end up touching the Switch more than I touch the PlayStation.
You also end up touching yourself more than you do a lot of other stuff.
Fuck you. That's not important.
I know. Chi-Chi told you that makes you grow hair on your eyes.
Eyes? The fuck?
I'm quoting Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Anyway, I'm just saying.
I do not remember that line.
You really?
I don't.
Cell versus Goku. Cell versus Goku.
Most of the lines I remember from that is
Chi-Chi told me that makes
Gohan
you grow hair on your
up
eyes.
And
Chi-Chi told me that makes you grow hair on your eyes. Killing you will be the hardest thing I ever enjoy. God damn it. Anyway,
I remember that line.
It's literally the follow-up to when he says that. All right. Anyway, it's like, really? Why would you compare The Last of Us to Pokemon? It's like, bro, really? Even in the rap battle that they have Ash Ketchum with, he got bodied by fucking Darwin. And it's like, bro, seriously? Bro, you measure your worth by the sales of your merch. And it's like, God damn it, dude.
It's true, though.
Yeah.
That's why Pokemon is the highest grossing just franchise. Because all the fucking merch. They sell, let's see. They have
the games that never drop in price.
They have Pokeballs. They have...
I want to go ahead and point out right now, though, still to this day, Pikachu, still not the mouse that makes the most money.
He very literally is?
No, he is not.
Isn't he?
Highest grossing franchise.
Nope.
Mickey Mouse.
I guess that's franchise, not company. If you're talking about Disney.
If you're talking about a franchise, Disney itself is a franchise. Disney, Disney and Mickey. If you want to talk about it this way, Mickey Mouse himself is a franchise. The highest, if you're, I'm saying the mouse, Pikachu is not the mouse that makes the most money worldwide. With just 3 circles, Mickey dominates the planet.
Yeah.
Mickey is a more recognized mouse than Pikachu. Anyway,
sadly, yes.
Sadly,
and Mickey's like 4 times as old.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, but my point is, this is a terrible comparison that this guy is making. That was my point. All right. Anyway, though fairness to the critics, most things before March 2020 are a bit of a blur. Jesus, that's what this guy's saying. Overflowing with Pokemon of every type, director Rob Letterman's movie would seem like an obvious candidate for a bigger, battle-heavier sequel in the vein of games. The ending's Ryan Reynolds' twist be damned. That's the other thing. They're sitting there saying that they're already working on a Detective Pikachu 2, and I'm like, how? Because we already got Ryan Reynolds out of the Pikachu's body. How are you doing it? How are you putting him back in?
They're probably not. Instead, it's just going to be called Detective Pikachu, and it's just going to have Ryan Reynolds, and Pikachu will be there, and technically still a Detective Pikachu because
please,
Pikachu works with
please, for the love of God, put Danny DeVito's voice inside that Pikachu.
I would love that so much.
Put Danny DeVito's voice
in
that motherfucking Pikachu, and I want that Pikachu drinking more coffee.
All right, kid. Listen here.
But he has
the body has been shot. We're not looking for a Pokemon this time.
So here we go.
If they do that, they have to have a couch birth scene.
Oh my. Dear God. All right, but years later, even after announcing a sequel before the original movie's release of Pokemon Detective Pikachu 2 is nowhere to be seen. Is everyone's favorite furry electric pal down for the count or preparing for his next battle? According to a representative from Legendary Entertainment, the project is still in active development, but they could not confirm who is currently working on it. Okay, I think this is kind of an old one because no, okay. Actually, okay, so I think I'm reading the wrong I think I'm reading the wrong article because okay, so I was watching the John Campea show, right? As I do because I like checking out some of the film and entertainment stuff that's going around. And a couple of days ago, I was watching the show, and one of the things that they talked about was Legendary said they are working on Detective Pikachu 2. It is in the works. It is a go. They are on record saying they are already working on it. Mm-hmm. So it's not just greenlit, they are working on it. So here's my thing. I don't know how they're going to do this because Ryan Reynolds is out of the Pikachu. Are they putting him back in the Pikachu? Is this a good thing? Do you want a second Pikachu? Here's my thing. I'm kind of okay with a second Detective Pikachu, but honestly, I'd prefer it if they were going to do another Pokemon movie. I'd prefer if it wasn't a Detective Pikachu movie. I'd prefer if they did something else. There's a lot of other stories they could tell in the Pokemon universe that I think would be really, really good. Besides just Detective Pikachu, there's a lot of really good stories they could tell besides just Detective Pikachu. I think Detective Pikachu is a good start within the Pokemon world.
Probably what they're trying to do. Use Detective Pikachu to branch off into other things. Introduce people who have no idea about it. Hold on. So they started with Detective Pikachu, but that doesn't branch out to Pokemon Ranger. It barely touches on Pokemon Battle. And like it hits on a lot of lore, but not all the lore. You get Mewtwo lore, but whereas Celebi, Darkrai, Genesect, fucking Arceus, the 3 dragons, the time, Dialga, Palkia, what's his fucking name?
Dude, How much
like,
of my generation, your generation, Fenris's generation grew up with fucking Pokemon?
do
Knows.
you know what all the Pokemon I just named look like?
No,
You know what Arceus looks like? You got that.
bruh. I am the exception to that rule that I just stated. I'm the
But you are the
motherfucker.
perfect person for this.
I am the exception to that rule. But even I know some basic shit about Gen 1 Pokemon. They can at least start up the 150. It doesn't
We're
even
on
have to
to
be
Gen
Ash.
9. That's the thing. There's a lot more people out there who want to see more than just Gen 1. And yeah, it doesn't have to be Ash.
I know, but here's my thing. I am a neophyte when it comes to that. But even I know the Poke-Rap.
I haven't heard that
matter.
in years.
Look, anyone born after
cheeks.
2005 might not know that. Probably doesn't know that.
Yes.
And there's a lot of kids like that.
Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon.
Well, I have a theory that Detective Pikachu 2 might actually bring in the Pokemon Rangers. If that means anything to you guys.
No.
Thought so.
A bit. I've played it.
Thank you.
Wasn't
I've played one of the games as well. I enjoyed they had like a little mini series going on for a time, and it's cool. The Pokemon Rangers. They don't catch Pokemon, but they have a thing that sort of helps the Pokemon be like, oh shit, I should help this guy. It's a weird system, but they could bring that in, and that would be really cool. Sure, Ryan Reynolds might not be going back into the Pikachu. That's fine. We don't need that. What we need is really cool Pokemon stuff, good-looking Pokemon stuff, and well-done Pokemon stuff.
Here's a counter argument for you, Moon. What if they use Ryan Reynolds to start up the Pokemon Rangers?
That would be awesome. I hope they do that, actually.
Or they could have a film about the founding of Team Rocket.
Or what if they ended up with and I'm just throwing this out there because this would be beautiful. What if they ended up with them ending with a Pokemon League tournament at the end, like he and his son go to watch a league tournament, and that happens to be the tournament where we actually get to see Ash finally win the tournament in live action.
That would be awesome.
So we tie the ending of the anime to live action, and we actually so it just brings all the generations together, and we can all just openly cry in the theater together as this 11-year-old boy finally makes his dreams come true.
What's funny is in the season right after that movie, they still call him 10.
Huh?
In the season right after that movie where he had his birthday, they still call him 10. Yeah. He's 11. He should be. Actually, motherfucker should be like 30 by now, but...
I know. Well, maybe he will be in the next... whatever when we see him. Maybe he will be 30.
Hopefully.
Maybe he'll be Professor Oaking someone else's mom.
See, Ash is another type of tree. He could be a professor.
He'll be making someone's mom look kind of ashy. Covering them in a little bit of ash.
All right. Gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them all.
STDs.
Gotta spread them all. Can you imagine after all of this? He ends up everybody's shipping this, shipping that, and he ends up married to Jessie.
Oh my god,
that would actually be a dream come true for me. I had the kind of crush going on with Jessie for a time. I ain't gonna lie.
And they have a son, and they name it James.
I'm okay with this.
It's because it's your name.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I need to put together that costume. I need to get a purple fucking wig.
All righty. Oh boy. All right. So Nintendo Direct happened. There's 3 different things we got to talk about from Nintendo Direct. Okay. So first off, Nintendo Direct ended in the way I expected. They ended it with the trailer they needed to end it on, because people would have fucking rioted if they didn't end it with Tears of the Kingdom. So
And
yes,
nerds everywhere just had a collective moment.
well, no, not that. They ended the nerds everywhere were like, "That's right, you goddamn better end it with Zelda." And most all of them took a collective breath of relief that they did not delay Tears of the Kingdom, because there were rumors that it was going to get delayed, and it did not get delayed. By the way, pre-orders are out now.
I would be okay if it's delayed.
And then the internet did a lot of, is that Matthew fucking Mercer? So the internet is doing a lot of sleuthing. The internet is doing a lot of sleuthing because Ganondorf has a speaking voice now. We finally heard Ganon, or possibly, here's the other thing that's out there. We're like, wait, is that Ganon or is that Demise? Because that is the order of things. And there's speculation based on the trailer that Zelda may be dead, and that Link is reaching out to the goddess Hylia because Zelda is now dead, and that is how Zelda had to die in order for the goddess Hylia to rise. And Ganon is now dead, and that's how we're getting Demise and Hylia, and Link is the only one that's left of the original three. Because
and even then, he's only he's a little less of a man. That's a robot arm.
He's been disarmed. Yes. Well, I don't know if it's a robot arm, but anyway, the Zonai are apparently at play. I'm hoping there's more story in this one than there was in Breath of the Wild. That was my only real critique of Breath of the Wild, was there wasn't enough story, but I still hope there's enough open world. And it looks like we're getting 3 levels of open world in this. We're getting Hyrule, and then subterranean Hyrule, and then the Sky Islands, because there's multiple Sky Islands up there, and there's so many transportation modes and so many big enemies. There's so much to talk about. Check out all the breakdowns of the trailers. There's so many out there. Oh my God. It would take way too long to break this down, but if you haven't seen the trailer, for God's sakes, go watch the trailer. It's so good. I am geeking out about this as a big Zelda person. I have been in love with Zelda. Like I played the original back in the day on the original NES, and I liked it, but I really fell in love with Zelda when Link to the Past came out. Like, I loved Link to the Past. That's when I really fell in love with Zelda. Jesus, I spent way too much time playing that game. That game was just amazing. It is my love. Zelda is my passion. It is the reason I continue to give Nintendo my money, because I will forever love Zelda. Like, Mario is nice and everything, but like, I'll watch the Mario movie. I'll go support that, because if I encourage that, there is hope that they will make a Zelda movie in that vein of CG and not F it up. And I want to see a good Zelda. Like, I'm hoping that they do a really good Mario movie, because I want to see a really good Zelda movie.
Honestly, I think Zelda could work really well in live action.
Live action or in that CG vein with Illumination. Because if Illumination does a Zelda movie as good as that Mario movie looks, and please do not cast Chris Pratt anywhere near that Zelda movie.
Honestly, I would love it if they actually still kept Link as a silent protagonist.
Yes, please.
That would be pretty, like, it would be a little tough. He'd have to have sidekicks to talk around him and stuff, but like, ooh, Navi.
Yeah.
Oh God.
All right.
Navi would do all the talking.
Now let's move on to Splatoon 3.
First, I do want to draw one really cool detail. At around the 33-second mark, you can see an enemy on the bridge. That is basically a recreation of one of the enemies from the first Legend of Zelda, the 3-headed dragon.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of those. There's a lot of those that they're bringing back. I was not gonna go into detail because I wanted people to actually go find it and talk about, like.
That's the other thing I wanted to bring up. Because it was just so cool to me the first time I noticed it. I was like, that's from the first.
Oh yeah, they're bringing back so many. They're bringing back like so many enemies and bosses from like old Zelda games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it did not escape my attention, but also the internet collectively, like, I love. All right, so I don't know if you've seen this interview, but there was an interview. Sorry, we're not getting to Splatoon just yet. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was an interview that took place. Hang on a second. Hold on. 1 second.
Hold on.
Wait.
How long am I gonna have to hold this? I don't know if I can do much longer. Oh no! Ah! Oh no, that didn't do. Hold on. Ah! Wait, am I already as low as I can be on this? Damn, hold on. Trying to make my joke here. Okay, so now I can't hold on anymore. There we go. I hope everyone got that.
Sorry, totally
Bravo,
tried to
Moon.
trick him into
Bravo.
taking him back outside
Thank you.
again. The little jerk. Acting like he didn't go outside when I took him out an hour and a half ago. Little.
For some reason, that just reminded me of the scene from Groundhog's Day.
Yeah.
What do you say? What do you say? What do you say? What do you say? You little jerk! You never thank me.
See you tomorrow. Maybe. Yeah. Anyway, which is oddly appropriate because 10 days ago it was Groundhog Day.
Mm-hmm. I really need to watch that movie again because
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie.
So it's so good. All right. Anyway, so what was I gonna say? Frick.
It was something about a
Yeah.
Fuck you, Spider. I ain't no wimp.
I don't know. It was okay. Oh, okay. So there was an interview with the Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ewan McGregor. There was an interview with Ewan McGregor on the Graham Norton show, and he was talking about when he was living in LA, and there were these kids that were just blasting by in their cars, driving very recklessly, and he pulled up next to them at the stoplight, and he rolled down his window, and he started yelling at them, "You idiot! You!" And his daughters were in the car just trying to hide in embarrassment and everything. And he looked at them, and the kids, there was a spark of recognition in their eyes as they realized who was yelling at them. And he's like, I could see it in their eyes. They were like, that's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like in their eyes as they realized who was yelling at them. And it was probably one of my favorite moments on Twitter, because somebody was like, I watched the trailer, and then there's the image of him on there, and there's like, that's fucking Matthew Mercer. I'm like, God damn it. So I'm like, yeah, the internet just collectively was like, when they watched his trailer, they're, that's Matthew fucking Mercer. I'm like, yep, that's fucking Matthew Mercer. So
every time I go back and rewatch it, I'm just sitting here like, he's used that voice in D&D.
I have heard that voice so many times. I know, like, I've heard those words said by Matt Mercer. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt Mercer, Matthew Mercer, dude, the day that trailer dropped, he was trending. And so many people are like, we're not 100% sure it's him, but we're pretty sure it's him, and he's not confirming because of an NDA. We're like, God damn.
Yeah.
I mean, it won't be
Look,
the first time
we're not
we play
saying
Ganon.
it's him. We're just saying it's fucking Matthew Mercer.
All right, let's move on.
Okay, Splatoon! Ah! First of all, Splatfest happening right now for a limited time only. You get to choose between chocolate, dark chocolate, and white chocolate. Of those three, guys, which one's your favorite? Milk chocolate, dark chocolate, white chocolate. Come on.
I have to have dark chocolate because it's the least amount of sugar. And
right? Also, it just tastes better. I voted dark chocolate.
I haven't had any chocolate in like 6 months.
I'm sorry, bro.
I've been trying my best to eat healthier.
I am too. I know the pain. But
as I'm sitting here chugging a gallon of fucking Gatorade.
Currently, white chocolate is winning from the last two results that they handed out, but it's still only halftime, sort of.
That's
we've got until it's either the end of today or the start of tomorrow to continue. So, hey, if you have Splatoon, go play that Splatfest. Have fun. Hopefully your team wins. Hopefully Dark Chocolate wins over everyone else. But, you know. Anyways, in Splatoon news, they announced the expansion pass, which really cool. So, yes, I already purchased this. I couldn't help myself. But coming in May, you will soon be able to, with the purchase of the expansion pass or the DLC, you will soon be able to go back to Inkopolis, which is from the first game, which for a lot of people might sound meh, but they had the first game. I didn't. I didn't get to play Splatoon until I got the Switch. So I started with Splatoon 2, which is a lot of fun. And so going back to the first area will be pretty cool. I'm sorry, Spider. I'm not a fan of Pikmin. Yes, Pikmin 4 was announced. Anyone care? Cool. Anyways, but you'll be able to go back to the first area in the first game, Inkopolis, and I think it was Inkopolis. Either way, you'll get to see Callie and Murray again. They do their performances for the Splatfests and stuff. I'm interested to see if you start in that area, will you start with a news show with those two over Shiver Fry and Big Man? I'm very interested in that. But along with that, there is the announcement of the second part of the expansion pack, which is clearly going to have a lot more story. And from the looks of it, it's going to be a bit heavier than the Octo expansion. The Octo expansion was massive. It was great. The music and the way they sold it, whoo! But this is looking to be a bit different. My speculations is we're either still playing as Agent 8 and we're like a bunch of stuff is going down. Like it's looking like Pearl could be mind controlled. Because there's a little screenshot of her showing some art of her wearing a specific kind of sunglasses that we've only ever seen on the mind controlled Octolings and Mary that one time. No, Callie. Fuck. But Callie that one time. So the other theory is we might be seeing what happened when Marina came to the surface. But those are just theories. I have nothing to confirm it. Either way, things look very interesting. The art bits that were showed off, a lot of them went by pretty quick. I literally sat and watched it 3 times, just pausing to see all the art. Beautiful. Highly recommend you go check out the announcement trailer for that because it's really cool. It's really hype. And another thing I'm excited for is the music. This game has amazing music, and I can only imagine what the expansion pass is going to bring. I'm kind of hoping we get some of the old music brought back as well to play during, competitions and battles and stuff because we're getting the first game, so we may as well get some of the music that goes with it, right? Well, the area from the first game. You know what I mean. So yeah, Splatoon 3 expansion pass, big stuff. I am excited.
I didn't know it had that much lore.
Oh. Let me get my book.
No.
Please don't.
But no.
Okay.
There is actually a lot more that does go into it. It's great.
I'm a little happy and a little sad for the next thing because I really wanted more than just the first Metroid Prime. But we're getting a remaster of Metroid Prime. I was hoping it would be the full trilogy for Metroid Prime, if nothing else, getting remastered.
I think they did say the others would be coming at a later time.
Okay. And we definitely want... still waiting on Metroid Prime 4.
Yep.
We're never going to get it.
That's probably... No. That's probably why they are not putting them in one box set. So they can tide you over until they're finally ready to bring out 4.
Still waiting on 4, just saying.
Yeah.
But Metroid Prime is what revitalized the franchise, let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm actually very interested in playing it too.
Prime was what... Prime was on the GameCube, and it was so good.
The GameCube was such a great console.
It was. It really was.
So far ahead of its time.
It was what reinvigorated my love for Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm.
It also was. I got to be honest. Star Wars is what made me buy a bunch of consoles. I bought Xbox because of KOTOR, and I bought the GameCube because of Rogue Squadron on the GameCube.
Hell yeah! Fucking
Oh.
love Rogue Squadron.
God, it was
Haven't
so
touched
good.
that in ages.
Such a damn good
It
game.
was so
Especially
good.
when you could like see inside the cockpit. It was just like, oh my god.
It was so damn good, bro.
I love that game, and it still holds up.
It does.
If I had a GameCube right now, I would absolutely be playing that again because like nothing feels like it so far.
Here's the thing.
Nothing.
I know everybody uses like the Wii Shop theme, but I will forever just always be nostalgic for the GameCube boot up music.
Yes.
Don't.
That is always forever. Like, okay, here's the thing. I may not have loved like the overall like story for Resident Evil 0, but damn was it good. Like, I mean, the gameplay for Resident Evil 0, but god damn, it was one of those fun ones to play on GameCube. Like, some of the gameplay was a little wonky, but man, considering that it was on the GameCube, those graphics were pretty tight. But I mean, going back and looking at it now, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
I really want to see. I
fun.
really
You
want to
don't
see an
care.
update. I want to see an update of the Resident Evil 1 and 0. Like, if they could update though, it's like, bro, you brought back 2 and you brought back 3. Can you just update 1 and like freaking 0? Give them some love, damn it.
Instead of just these half-assed remasters.
Yeah.
I
Come on,
remember
man.
there were 2 Star Fox games for it as well. One was Adventures. And the other one, I cannot remember what it was called, but it actually had segments where you were like third-person shooter. You were running around getting guns and shooting things. It was amazing. And it had Crystal.
This Metroid Prime Remaster is available on the eShop, so it's not a physical purchase. It's just digital for the Switch, and it's available right now. That covers all of our content that we're doing for the Nintendo Direct right now. I know there's a lot more, but we'd be here forever if we were covering all the content that was out on the Nintendo Direct. And this is just the stuff.
It was a lot of good stuff this time.
Well, I mean, I'm not the biggest Nintendo fan, and there's not a lot out there that I'm super, super into. I'm kind of like, if it's Zelda, if it's Metroid, and the Resident Evil stuff is now not specifically Nintendo anymore. So, and that was mostly
Still $60.
What is
Star Fox Assault? That was the other GameCube Star Fox. Really good, really amazing.
Dude, Zelda
it's still $60.
Dude, the new Zelda is gonna be 70.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So long,
dude.
As it's got
that was the thing.
To match that price point.
I was talking to Tony about that, and he was mad. He was like, "It's $70," and I'm like, "Bruh, you need to calm down."
Look, it's not like we're trying to put
he's
out.
Like, I don't understand why it's 70. I'm like, you don't.
Did you play the first one? This is supposed to be more than that. I go,
you don't freaking understand? Bro, calm down. All right, so we still aren't done with gaming news because we moved from there, and just recently, 9 minutes of gameplay was released on IGN of Jedi Survivor, of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I had a chance to look at it a little bit today. It wasn't like overly amazing, but what I saw, I actually was kind of impressed by. We got to see not all the different lightsaber forms of combat, but we got to see some impressive force powers. We got to see some enemies. We didn't get to see a lot. It was just all from one planet. But what we did get to see was a bunch of stuff, and I was happy to see that. I think it's still kind of early on in the game. We did get to see a varied amount of enemies. It was mostly droids and one specific type of humanoid enemy, but some varied different kinds of animal enemies. But we got to see some different types of varied force abilities and a couple of different lightsaber forms. The separated dual blades, the combined dual blades, and some single blade. But there's apparently up to 7 different blade combat forms that you can use in the game. There's a
Please
lot.
let one of them be a
There's a
lightsaber
lot.
axe.
And
I
it
hope
does
one
not,
of them is the same style that Obi-Wan uses, and your character will actually flirt with the enemies, because that's part of it.
apparently, guys, you do not lose all of your force abilities from the first game. This is not you have to rebuild your skill tree from the ground up. You still retain everything that you learned from the first game. It's just you're going to grow more. You're going to learn a lot more. So you're going to advance more from what you had from the first game. So it's kind of like, okay, you got back what you had from the first game was kind of like, okay, you got up to apprentice level. Now it's time to become a Jedi Knight. And it's like, all right, cool. Your powers in the Force are going to grow further. So yeah, you're going to become a more fully fleshed out Jedi at this point. And I'm like, all right, you can kind of see that in this gameplay. And I'm like, all right, that's good to know, because I hate those games that come out that are sequels. And it's like, what's the first thing that happens? You lose all the progress that you made from the previous game and you have to start all over again. And it's like, that is the most ridiculous thing when you start up a sequel. It's like, I understand from a gameplay standpoint why you'd have to do that, from a gameplay, but narratively, it's just so dumb.
You know what would be upsetting? If in the new Legend of Zelda, you do not start with the Master Sword.
Every cutscene that I've seen, he has the Master Sword. So yeah, that'd be really ridiculous.
And honestly, I kind of hope they bring Fi back, or Fi, whatever. However
you pronounce it. I think in the Japanese version, it's Fi. So I'm going with Fi because that's the original. Fi Fi Fo Fum. It was interesting. I definitely would encourage you guys to check it out. And once you have done, drop comments below and let us know what your thoughts and opinions are of all of these gaming things that we've discussed. If you haven't watched them already, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Let us know what you guys thought of all these trailers. And of course, if you check out the Jedi Survivor kind of gameplay walkthrough, let us know what you think of it. I'm curious. Did either of you watch it? I know I kind of posted this recently.
I didn't.
I still haven't finished Fallen Order, and I'm probably not going to.
I can't play Fallen Order right now. I don't know what happened with Steam. Every time I try to install it, the executable file is just missing. So I don't know how to fix that. I uninstall it, reinstall it. It's just gone.
Fallen Order was the last game I was playing when Cody was still here. So
Jesus.
It hurts looking at it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's fair.
Alrighty. Well, now we're going to have to get into some awkward shit. This is where things are going to get awkward. Okay. Yeah. So, it's awkward because of the actions of one individual voice actor who voices Tainari, which is a character that was introduced in one of the main characters that was introduced in the most recent story content, major story content that came out. He was one of the first characters that you were introduced to in the newest country, which was Sumeru. But the good news is that every voice actor in the Genshin community immediately distanced themselves and was like, what this person did was not okay. We do not encourage at all what this person did. And we are immediately cutting ties with this person. Their response to what happened is the correct response in my opinion. So the rest of the voice actors in the community and their response, I think, is appropriate. And it's good to see positive steps being taken by the rest of the community, the voiceover community in Genshin. So that side is good. It's just what happened here was bad. I'm going to let someone else read it because yeah. So whichever one of you.
I'll take the brunt of it.
Because I was not I already had to read it and I was like, no, thank you. Not again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This past Tuesday, a former moderator of Genshin Impact, voice actor Elliot Gindy's Twitch and Discord shared a document, warning explicit content, containing alleged screenshots of Gindy's sexual misconduct with several fans, some of whom were allegedly underage at the time. The document spread like wildfire across the Genshin Impact community, and Gindy has since come out and confirmed some of these allegations while denying others. Gindy wrote in a Twit longer post, "I am deeply sorry to those I hurt. It was never my intention to hurt anyone. I tried to keep it above board. I thought everything was consensual and safe. I tried to tell myself I could make it ethical with clear communication and boundaries. I was so wrong, and I realized this, which is why I tried to come clean to everyone I know, log off, and get therapy. To those who believed in me even after I came clean, I'm sorry to have let you down. Please do not use this as an opportunity to bash other cast members of the game, or other cast members or the game. No one knew. What is true? All the screenshots of the chat logs. Yes, all of the cringy sex talk. Yes, I did threaten suicide if it got out. Jesus. I didn't think through the severity of that. I am sorry. I never intended to change someone ace. They insisted this is what they wanted. I ended things, but later gave in to emotional weakness and re-engaged when I was offered a chance to. What is not true? That I knowingly did anything with anyone underage, that I did not respect someone's pronoun changes. I was not waiting for someone 15 to turn 18. I flatly rejected them." This is a response. Other questionable practices. There are times when I've streamed in my boxers, but there was never any sexual intention nor focus meant by this. I did not realize it could be interpreted that way, and I apologize profusely to anyone who was made uncomfortable by this. In addition, I did not engage with anyone in the ways described above outside of those 3 people I was involved with. I understand what I did was wrong and inappropriate, and to the best of my ability, tried to confess as much to those I contacted. I reacted inappropriately to situations where I felt desired and caused harm to so many people in the process. I understand that my actions have consequences and am committing myself to accepting my responsibility while making the effort to get and do better. Over the past few days, over 50 of his fellow Genshin Impact voice actors have publicly voiced their condemnation and outrage at Gindy's alleged sexual misconduct. Gindy voices Tignari?
Tainari.
In the Genshin Impact mobile game. Some reacted in rage. Jenny Yokobori, who plays Yoimiya. Now that I have more spoons, Elliot Gindy is abhorrent. The abuse that he inflicted upon his victims is unforgivable. I am absolutely disgusted with him and anyone trying to defend him. I wish nothing but peace for the victims. I don't give a shit about any apology, though. Jenny Yokobori. Ashley Biskey. Now to say I'm pissed off is an understatement, so do not ever utter my name in its consonants or its vowels in the same breath as that person's. Please and thank you. Brianna Knickerbocker. I am furious. How dare Elliot threaten to take... Do what?
She voices Hu Tao.
Oh, yeah. My bad. How dare Elliot threaten to take his life if the victims came forward? Truly sick in the head. Everything Elliot has done has left me so angry and triggered. There needs to be consequences for his actions. There needs to be support for the victims. In caps, it says, believe victims. Yeah. Brianna Knickerbocker.
Yep.
Oh, no. I was reading wrong. Yeah. Others spoke of the responsibility that actors have towards their fans. Brandon Winkler. As an actor, you have a responsibility for how you handle yourself with fans. A lot of these people are literal children. They adore you, the characters you play. To take advantage of that is beyond gross. Valerie Pierce. When you're considered a public figure, it is your sole responsibility to set appropriate and respectful boundaries, especially with fans and admirers of your work. But taking advantage of someone else's fragile mental health for your own narcissistic pleasure? Absolutely vile. Chris, I'm not going to try to pronounce that name. Voices Capitano. Fans sending fan art of a character you voice is such an honor. To take their love for the character as an opportunity to groom, manipulate them is pure evil. My heart hurts for all the victims. No excuses for it, period. Go away, get help, don't come back. And Yatko It's hard to put my feelings to words. People with public visibility, actors, bear a responsibility to treat their fans with respect. To do the opposite or worse is absolutely inexcusable. If you're hurting, I'm sorry. If you spoke up, thank you. I had no clue. I'm sad and angry.
That's from the
Uh,
Raiden Shogun. She's the voice of the Raiden Shogun,
oh,
aka
sorry.
A.
Yeah, I need to read that. Um, some have already cut Gindi out of their lives. Zach Aguilar, Aether,
aka
disappointed.
the male traveler in Genshin
Oh,
Impact, or
okay.
the male main character, or the
Dis-
character that you play as, the male player.
yeah. Disappointed and angry, I have removed the stream with Elliot and will no longer be associating with him. I refuse to give someone like this a platform in any way. To use your power this way over fans is disgusting and shameful. My heart goes out to the victims of the situation. Erica Harlacher plays Venti.
Mm-hmm.
Furious. Elliot Gindi has been removed from all group streams activities I have any part in organizing moving forward. This is really triggering me.
I think
Uh,
I think it's Harlacker, but yeah,
I'm trying.
that's okay.
Some even added stories of their own. Oh boy. Chloe Eves, Hypatia, and
Ruka Devata.
thank you in Genshin Impact. Thank you all for your supportive and encouraging words. Being honest, I was scared coming forward about this, but rest assured, since then, thanks to folks like yourselves, I have been regaining my confidence and pride. Also, remember there are still so many good eggs out there. Karina Boettger? Boettger? Plays Paimon.
Yeah,
Emergency rations.
emergency
Yes.
rations. Yes, emergency food.
Person that I took it well, which makes me feel gross that he thought I was on his side. I wasn't. Even him watering down the situation, I told him it was bad. And yeah, over the call, I didn't yell or freak out, but that doesn't mean I was okay. I shut down. My partner has had to. It's cut off there, so. Zulu and Lima, Karina, follower of Cthulhu.
Has had to
Is that-
deal with my emotional state for the aftermath of this, and it's not good. Because at that point, Elliot told me he didn't think anyone would come forward because he talked to them, which really just tells me he tried to manipulate them more. But I was immediately in a position where I was thinking, who do I go to? Okay, so this is a whole. Here's the thing, this is a whole fucking thread.
Yeah.
That she posted. Like it's crazy.
Oh yeah.
It was
Of course, if there was one common sentiment beyond condemnation, it was the showing of support for those who spoke out. Nazia Tarsha, God, these names. Al-Haytham?
Al-Haytham.
Okay, from Genshin Impact. Absolutely vile, heinous, and despicable. To the victims, coming forth is not an easy thing to do by any stretch of the imagination. Your bravery is nothing short of admirable. May you find some semblance of solace in the outpouring of support and begin your healing process.
Okay.
Sarah
we'll be here forever if we try to read all these. Sarah Miller Cruz, who is Lumine, aka the female traveler. Laura Stahl, who voices Barbara and Jin Yen. Then we have
Chris Fiala, the voice director for the game.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's all. But I mean, we'll be here forever if we keep trying to read these. Suffice to say that a lot of people in the community like immediately were like, "No, this is not okay. This is not right." And I'm pretty sure this guy won't be voicing that character. I'm pretty sure if that character has any more lines, he's been recast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd hope so.
I would very much hope so. Genshin does not need this. Like, MiHoYo does not need this at all on them. So, this is not the kind of publicity that MiHoYo wants. So I'm pretty sure that guy is going to be recast. All right, one of the headlines that was on here, COVID kills the Demon King. The Misfit of Demon King Academy 2 anime delays episodes 7 and beyond due to COVID-19. The official website for Misfit of Demon King Academy 2, the second season of the Misfit of Demon King Academy anime, announced on Sunday that the anime's episodes 7 and beyond have been delayed. The anime's production committee cited the impact of the increase of COVID-19 infections on its production schedule. The anime will instead air the first 6 episodes again starting on February 18th. The anime's website and Twitter account will announce the broadcast and streaming schedules of episode 7 and beyond when they are decided. The new season is airing in split quarters of a year. The new season is replacing Suzuki as the is replacing the voice. Okay, so the lead character of Ano's voice got replaced because he cheated on his wife, and that's a no-no in Japan. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, the COVID running through the production staff is going to delay them, and there's no announcement on when it will be back, which sucks because I've been enjoying watching season 2. So that's why I decided I was going to talk about this because, yeah, it is what it is.
Oh, I'm glad I haven't started season 2 yet.
Also, dude, Tony's dumb hot takes. He's like all of Dragon Ball Super. He said that the baby arc in GT is better than all of Dragon Ball Super, and I'm like, bro, the Zamasu arc is better than the baby arc in GT. Bro, you need to calm down. Like, Jesus Christ, sir. Rip Anos. I know, right? Okay. So we got 2 more to cover before we get into the long, drawn-out talk that is going to be our review of 2 episodes of The Last of Us and the last 3 episodes of
Vox Machina.
Vox Machina. All right. So there a while back there was this anime that I watched called Mix, and apparently this is a generational sequel to an old school anime about okay, so these 2 kids are the children of a very popular manga and anime from back in the day about some kids that grew up and became famous baseball players back in the day, and this is the generational story about their the next generational story about their kids. And I watched this without knowing the context about their parents' story or whatever, and I liked it. So apparently it's getting a 2nd season, and I was really interested in that. The official Twitter account for Mix Meisei Story, our second summer Beyond the Sky 2nd season, announced on Friday that the anime will premiere on April 1st. The 2nd season will debut in spring 2023. The story will take place after the summer of the first year of high school. The anime's returning cast members include, and then listed that. I think, if I'm remembering right, that is the correct one. Or is this the... Yeah. Yeah, right?
Yeah, the first season took place 26 years after Meisei High conquered the Koshin. A promising pitcher-catcher battery was formed in its middle school by the Tachibana stepbrothers Toma and Soichiro.
Yeah.
That one debuted in April of 2019.
Yep. And now these are their kids.
And the manga debuted in May of 2012.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the 2nd season. They are the stepbrothers.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so all right, so I don't remember. All right, I'm not 100% sure if I'm remembering this right, but I'm going to have to rewatch Mix because I think I'm remembering this correctly, but I can't be 100% sure. But I remember this being a really interesting one, but it's been so long that the details are kind of fuzzy. And I may be misremembering this. So I apologize. My ADHD brain is... And there's 2 anime out there that I'm kind of getting it... I may be getting them mixed up because they came out around the same time, and I may be getting them mixed up.
I have a question for you real quick, Richie.
Yeah.
What is ADHD?
ADHD.
You said ADHD.
No, I didn't.
Pretty sure you did.
No, I didn't. You're just hearing things wrong because Discord is fucking horrible. And...
Yeah, Mom and Dad are fighting again. That look you both gave me. Yeah, totally worth it. Oh, that was great.
Boy, it's going to be really surprising when I bend him over my knee. And get the fucking paddle out. All right, anyway.
I like that.
I mean, more holes in the paddle makes it more aerodynamic.
Yeah. He's like, I like that. I was like, not the way I do it.
Bitch, you don't know life?
I don't... Oh, sweetie, I'm not talking about spankings. I'm talking about beatings. There's a difference. Yeah. Anyway. Media Blasters founder reveals company's worst performing title. And while that would be an interesting story of itself, it's the second half. That's the part that that I really wanted to talk about. So Media Blasters founder did an interview, a candid interview with Forbes. It's like, but the part that really throws that out there, we really thought the title would have a bit more legs. It was the same guy who did Death Note, but just because it was the same guy doesn't really mean a whole heck of a lot. First off, this was the part that threw me off, because it was like, man, really didn't do his research, because the people that did Death Note, it was a duo, motherfucker. So shows how little research you actually did. Over the past month, John Cirabella, the founder of Media Blasters, has released a series of videos on his YouTube channel chronicling his company's history. In a recent video, he addressed one of his most frequently received questions: which of the titles acquired by Media Blasters performed worst over the years? His answer: Galgai Gar, King of Braves. Cirabella also mentioned Bakuman as a title that initially seemed promising but performed poorly. I want you guys to go ahead and notice something right here. For those of you that are like, what's Bakuman?
He said that sounding like Agumon.
This is Bakuman. It is a manga series written by the same duo that gave you Death Note. And I'm not the only one that has said this. Anybody that's actually checked out Bakuman will tell you the same thing. It is written by the same... It is written and drawn by the same duo that gave you Death Note. And it is actually... when you actually sit down and check it out, both anime and in its manga form, you'll find that it's actually superior to Death Note. Because it's got a lot more to offer you than Death Note. Death Note has a lot of interesting twists and turns, but this has so much more to it. Now, the funny thing is, a lot of the manga that they make is actually very Death Note-esque. There's a lot of that in there. However, this has a lot more to it because there's romance elements to this. There's also just a lot of intrigue. There's drama. There's just a lot of, are they going to make it? There is so much to this. It's crazy. This is the complete package of everything you could possibly want from a story. There's romance, there's slice of life, there's mystery, there's drama, there's action, there's your friendship element for all you shonen people. But this is literally trying to make a manga for Shonen Jump. Even though for legal reasons they had to change it to Shonen Jack. Also, funny story, even though they had said for legal reasons they had to change it to Shonen Jack, real people were actually used in this. There are actual editors in this who at the time worked for Shonen Jump and have actually used the images of their actual represented images in this as their Twitter bios, who actually worked for Shonen Jump here in the US, that actually as their Twitter handle used their images in here as their profile pic. Literally. They worked for Shonen Jump US and run like the president of Shonen Jump America is actually one of the people in here. No bullshit. It's real.
I actually have to read that sometime. It's
It's
been on
so
my
goddamn
backlog
good.
for years.
Also, funny story. It's 75. The anime is out. It's 75 episodes. It's only 3 seasons. It's on Hulu. Yeah. Just putting that out there. I want you guys to know. I don't know if it's on Disney Plus in other countries. I just know that it's on Hulu. It's very good. I would love to do a watch along. It's so goddamn good. It's just so cute. It's such a good show.
Speaking of watch-alongs,
I do Thursday watch-alongs. Yes.
well, I was gonna suggest maybe we could have a watch-along for the Konosuba movie.
Good.
Because I've got 1 episode left in season 1, and then I've got to do season 2.
I already told
there's
them.
the
I
movie.
already told them that you messaged me about that, and you were like, "Holy shit, I love this series."
It's great.
I figured you would love it. Yeah. But yeah, Konosuba is good. Bakuman is my favorite series of all time. I have reread, rewatched. It's so effing good. If you have not checked it out, please do yourself that favor. It is my favorite series of all time. It does not get old. It is a masterpiece. Here's the thing. If you're like, oh my God, why did that series not do that well? First off, it was picked up by Media Blasters. That's why. Secondly, shit marketing. That's why. Bro, there are people whose job it is to know this shit, and we barely knew. Like, we go out to research and find this stuff, and it took us forever to find this shit. Only 12 episodes of this got dubbed. So many of us would love to see this show get picked up and licensed by a dubbing company and see it actually get dubbed properly. We would love to do that. Nizuma Eiji, I would love to fucking voice him. If you ever see the actual anime and see Nizuma Eiji, you will fucking understand. By the way, for those of you who have actually seen the live action Rurouni Kenshin movie, and you have seen the actor that played Kenshin in that live action movie, and you saw the kid that played Sojiro in the second live action movie, there was a live action Bakuman. Both of those actors played the 2 fucking main characters in this.
Nice.
They played both of these main characters because this is the artist. He does the art. This guy does the writing. It's very much kind of an interesting telling. Here's all you need to know. Here's the basic plot of the first episode. This guy is the writer. This guy likes to draw. this guy realizes that this guy has a big crush on one of the girls in his class, right? Has had a crush on this girl for a really long time. He knows that the girl that's this guy has a crush on wants to become a voice actress. So he ends up talking this guy into going to see the girl at his house and he confesses to the girl that he's going to try and become a manga artist, and getting this guy he tries to get him to work with him so that they'll make manga. So he decides he's going to make a manga and says to her that he's going to make a manga and make it become an anime, and that when it becomes an anime, he'll save the role of the heroine for her, and that when that moment happens, and she becomes when she voices the heroine for their manga, to please marry him. She runs back into the house, all embarrassed, goes onto the speaker and says, "Okay. But until our dreams come true, we can't see each other. From this moment on, we have to focus on our dreams." Fair. Literally the end of the first episode. Bro! And it just gets crazier and crazier from that moment on. Because it's like, all right, how are they going to do this? How are they going to do this? How are they going to do this? Like, and there's so many obstacles, so many challenges. There's so much shit. And like, because this dude is top of their class. #1 student. He researches and learns what his audience likes and writes amazing stories. This guy is a really, really good artist, but he needs to learn to draw a bunch of different stuff and things like it's crazy. It's basically an inside baseball look into how manga gets made. So good. I'm sorry. I could sit here all day and talk to you about it, but it's best to you just check it out on your own. You can read it on Shonen Jump online for $2.99 a month. I highly encourage you to do it. It's so good. You can buy it online if you want. There's the box set. You can get them one at a time. You can, I think maybe you can find it at your bookstore. I'm not 100% sure. Wherever your local bookstores, it's probably better to find online, if I'm being 100% honest, but it's worth it. Not even joking. These are such a good series. And of course, as I said, you can watch the anime. The anime is absolutely worth it. The dub isn't really out there. It's mostly subbed. So highly encourage you to check it out. I think Hulu, has all 3 seasons. At this point, I know originally it only had the first 50 episodes, and that was just season 1 and 2, but I managed to find all 3 seasons. So yeah, maybe we'll do a watch along at some point. I don't know. Anyway, that's that. I need to take a break real quick and use the restroom. So you guys, just talk about whatever you want to talk about, and then we will jump into the Last of Us episodes. I actually have a list of short. I have a list of bullet points for us to kind of go over, so we can kind of keep it ramble free, as it were.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be here forever and a day if we just leave it all ramble.
True. Anyways, so you had questions about the Splatoon lore?
Not really, no. I just didn't know there was so much lore behind it.
Come on, there's lore to everything if you know where to look.
I was not expecting a Splatoon game to have a campaign either.
Well, Splatoon's always had a campaign. It's just there are 2 levels of campaign. You got the main story campaign for 1 and 2.
Offline campaign where you can play by yourself.
Yeah, I mean,
I was surprised when they finally implemented that. What would really make sense for them is to remake or remaster 1 and put that out so people can play it again.
They don't need to. So the reason why all three of these games do have a solo story, but the main one that you have in 1 and 2, it's not great. It's mostly used as a tutorial thing and a way to get an idea for how all the weapons work in 1 and 2. In 3, however, and the Octo expansion, there's a lot more to it. You have different games or different weapons that you use to complete different challenges that are all very difficult. In 3, it's a lot more variation. Some are easier than others. But in the Octo expansion, no, they said, hey, let's make everything difficult. And it was great. So,
Sure.
Yeah. Good time.
Okay.
Fun time.
Whew. Sorry about that. Thank you for that.
Hey, this was a far more successful talk to fill in the emptiness this time around.
Oh, yeah.
That's because we had a good subject. One of my
Yes.
favorite subjects. I could talk about it forever if you let me.
What was the subject?
Splatoon.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, so here we go. Recapping The Last of Us.
Bum bum bum.
Episode 4.
Okay, episode
I have less
4.
notes. I have less notes for episode 4 than I do for episode 5. But
Yeah, let's just
Episode 4 was basically just a build up to 5.
it was.
that's true. That's true. Okay, so quickly, the joke book.
Yes.
Yes.
So much bonding to be had.
Can I,
in
So
can
those
I ask
few
you a serious
jokes.
question? Hold on. Can I ask you a serious question? Why was the Scarecrow given a Nobel Prize?
An award
Given an award?
because he was outstanding in his field.
Yeah.
You dick!
That was one of the things that literally happened.
Yep. Because he was
Oh, it was
outstanding
so
in his
good.
field. You dick. I love that. All right.
Oh.
Let's see. All right, the tape and the magazine.
Yeah, Richie had showed us that scene from the game. She's sitting in the back seat of the truck, just kind of digging around. Oh, hey, I found this tape. It was it Hank Williams or Johnny Cash?
It was
Hank Williams.
They were both Hank Williams.
Okay.
Here's the thing: in both the game and in the show, it was Hank Williams. They were just both different songs.
Okay.
Yes.
They
No,
were-
I just
yeah.
couldn't remember who it was.
Yeah, it was
All
both
I
Hank
remember
Williams.
is Joel takes it and is like, this is actually before my time, but it's a good one.
I
Chucks it in,
I
they
actually
play
saw a
it.
meme the other day about that where Ellie was handing Joel a functioning economy.
This is before my time.
Technically, the functioning economy was still around before when the outbreak hit, because it was 2003 and the economy didn't collapse until about 2004.
Either way, then
So there
she
was
finds
still a
the
functioning
magazine.
economy before the pandemic.
Oh, the magazine was hilarious because
yeah.
it was a bunch of dudes.
Oh yeah. Well,
the
it was
Gold magazine.
also exact same cover as they used in the game.
I
Yep.
did notice that, yeah.
Yeah.
But
One for
yeah, she's
one
just sitting there
recreation.
looking at it. One of the great lines. How does he walk with that thing between his legs?
Yeah. How was he walking around?
And
with
that's
that?
when Joel is like, "You need to put that down."
It was great.
Oh, why are the pages all
again,
sticky?
Again, 100% accurate to the game. One for one with the game. So
Mhm.
good. Okay, camping and coffee. Now here's my thing. So many people were sitting there saying, how could they go around? Why wasn't there for a zombie apocalypse show? There sure don't seem to be a lot of zombies around. And I'm like, well, they're out in the middle of effing nowhere. Here's the thing. Surprise, surprise. Why would the zombies be out in the middle of the nowhere? They're not wandering around like fucking buffalo.
They're
Gee,
looking
I
for the
wonder,
next victim. They're
I
going
wonder
to
if the
populated
cordyceps.
areas.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder if the fungus is kind of congregating around population centers because they're trying to get where
They're
the
just trying
fresh
to
food
spread
is.
itself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The cordyceps isn't a thinking machine. It's just driven by instinct. And the instinct is big human thing here, gather. Go to where instinct tells you go.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So and that's why
yeah.
people like me who live in the middle of the woods are perfectly safe.
Yeah, exactly. Gee, I wonder why Bill and Frank were so safe. Because there were only 2 fucking people there. If the whole town had been populated, there would have been a lot more infected.
I mean, don't get us wrong. There's going to be a wandering infected like they showed in episode 3.
Yeah.
But it's not that
Bill
common.
also had traps set up.
Yeah.
Exactly. But still, it's not that common. I mean, in the, what was it, 18, 20 years that they skipped time in, they only showed 1 infected?
No, there was probably more wandering infected around, but like...
Probably.
Yeah.
Besides, at the end of episode 5, we got what we wanted.
Also, just proof of that, there were more than 1 because we saw that one get capped, and what was it that he said? That never gets old. So you know there was more that it happened a few times.
Like, also, in the same vein, that was still early on in the infection period.
Okay,
it's only like the first 3 years.
So, also the coffee thing. Like, she's like, coffee smells like shit. That's kind of keeping in with the game. Ellie did not like the coffee thing. She always said that coffee was like, yeah. So, that's
but I love how Joel just stays quiet, just more for me.
Yeah. I also like the post-apocalyptic travel because once again, man, hats off to the design of the world. Like, man, just how nature has reclaimed the world after 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, that just looked beautiful.
And speaking of post-apocalyptic travel, when they got to the underpass and there was that truck just blocking it, you could see the frustration. Hell, I even felt the frustration of just looking under the trailer and it being clear. Just that one freaking thing blocking it.
Yeah.
It's just... Sometimes you just need a bomb.
Exactly.
And then some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. All right.
No, I gotta do the Jack Nicholson. Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
All right. So here's the other thing, though. This is where it diverges for me. And here's where I'm gonna say this on purpose. All right. I know her name is Kathleen, but is Karen needed in this story?
Not really.
No.
Right. I understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to humanize the hunters. And I understand Moon has not played the actual game for this portion. Now, here's my thing. Changing it from Kansas City to Pittsburgh, that's not really a difference. And in fact, I actually think it's better that they changed it to Kansas City instead of Pittsburgh because it shows, hey, we've traveled a lot farther. We're actually closer to our destination. I think that actually works better. Here's the thing. I don't think we needed to spend all that time trying to humanize these hunters. It didn't actually matter. I did not care.
I mean, I felt a bit of justification at the end and a bit of
it did not
happiness.
No,
that was it.
No. I would have felt, and I'll cover this when we do our episode 5 breakdown.
Yeah.
I don't think it actually changed anything because, and I'm gonna spoil a little bit of the game storyline for Moon, and I apologize in advance because we're going to talk about some of the difference between the game. We're going to talk a little bit about the difference between the game Henry and Sam versus the show Henry and Sam. A little bit, like, and the hunters and stuff, because we have to properly cover these. We have to do this a little bit different. By the way, guys, this is just water that I'm refilling.
You could always mute your headset or walk away for a couple minutes.
This isn't like major spoiler or anything. It's just, and like the stuff that we're breaking down isn't going to be like overly spoiler for you. It's just some basic stuff.
Besides, hearing something and experiencing something, very different things.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Especially when it comes to this game.
But okay, some other things that I think I want to cover really quick was teaching Ellie to use a gun. That moment with Joel teaching Ellie to use the gun, and then finally we get Henry and Sam. Overall, episode 4, I agree, was just kind of a setup episode, and I kind of give it a 7 out of 10. The reason I'm giving it such a high mark was because there was so much of the game that they used in this episode. Most of the elements that were in this were elements from the actual game, except for the camping scene, but there was a lot of elements that were kind of game-esque elements, and we got a lot of Ellie and Joel in this episode. A lot of Ellie and Joel.
The best way to describe episode 4 was the beginning of the bonding between the two.
Definitely. Okay, episode 5. Getting into the meat of it here.
Oh yeah.
Sam is deaf. That is a departure from the game, because Sam was not deaf in the game. However, this is a change that I think actually worked better. I think, and we actually saw this in after the episode, because we actually, this time around I had HBO Max when I was watching it with you guys. We got to see this, and it was one of those things where when it was brought up to Neil Druckmann, he was like, shit, I wish I'd thought of that when we had the game, because that just made it better. And I was like, actually, yeah, that works better. However, Sam being deaf should have changed things a little more. Should have made Henry a bit more of a certain way instead of less of a certain way. And we'll get to talking about that in a little bit later when we cover that point. Okay. I also liked, we got an alternate version of seeing Joel and Ellie enter the city. That was another point. What'd you guys think about that? We got to see it kind of from Henry's perspective. Because we got to spend time with Henry and Sam and see kind of from their perspective of things. And actually that's how we discovered that Sam was deaf. And that departure. I loved his little pen pad where he could kind of etch a sketch it. I know that's not what it actually is, but to me, that's the closest thing that I could kind of relate it to. But we actually got to see it from Henry's point of view. The Kathleen, Karen, and her brother's side story.
Not needed at all.
Absolutely not needed. Here's my thing, guys. I understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to humanize her. Here's my other thing. I understand what they were trying to do with her character, but at any point in time, they were trying to tell like this love and revenge story. But did she at any point in time come across feeling like a leader of this group to you? Because she did not feel like a leader.
If anything, she felt like a dictator.
No, she didn't even feel like that, because a dictator is like feels strong. She didn't come across as a person that had power.
No, she just felt like a random person that just stepped out like, oh, we're going to focus the camera on her for now.
Yeah, yes. She did not feel like somebody who had power and authority or control at all. Like, no. Like, this did not feel like somebody who was exercising their power and authority in an apocalypse or a post-apocalyptic situation. This did not feel like somebody who was in charge, especially somebody who took down Fedra, or at least apparently like one of the worst types of Fedra. And here's the thing. I don't want to hear somebody in the comments later or anybody in the chat right now tell me that, oh, it's because she's a woman. No. Marlene felt like somebody who was in charge. So, and that was a woman. That felt like a woman who was in charge and running things. Tess was a woman who was in charge and running things. So I have no problem with like a female authority figure when it feels like an authority figure. I don't care if they're male or female or that technicolor rainbow in between, as long as they feel like an actual authority figure. This didn't feel like somebody who was in charge. And that's the problem. This didn't feel like somebody who rightfully should be in charge of this group. And
although maybe that kind of was the point, because like you have to sit and wonder what the hell was her end goal after killing Henry.
Here's my thing, guys. This felt super, super out of place. It did not feel. It felt like it took too much away from things. Like you were trying to push this narrative, and this narrative didn't need to be pushed. It felt like it took away from things that it did not. Like we could have kept the faceless hunters, and just kept focusing on like Henry, Sam, Joel, and Ellie, and that would have serviced the story better.
Yeah.
Either that, or it could have been like
we could have kept the story. We could have had the story go the way that it went, without actually having, like,
we didn't need so many scenes devoted to them.
Yeah, we didn't actually. Here's the thing: it felt way too convoluted.
Yeah,
there were the story and all this was way, way, way too convoluted. Okay,
like all we really needed was Henry saying, "I killed her brother." And that's enough. That's all we need to get why she wants him dead. That's it.
I sold out her brother. And it's like, here's the thing. We didn't need like this big convoluted story. It's like, I'm looking for Henry. I'm looking for Henry. Here's the thing. It could have just been a bunch of faceless assholes that overthrew Fedra like it was in the game. And all we needed to know was like, they were worse than Fedra. And just you could have played up the horrible shit that Fedra did and just say what these guys are doing is worse. Here's the thing. Henry's group in the actual game, Henry and Sam went in with a group into the city to get supplies, and they stole from the hunters, and the hunters retaliated by killing their group. Sam and Henry were just trying to get out of the city. That's how Joel and Ellie met up with them. And they were all just trying to get out of the city. Honestly, I'm going to say the military comes up with beautiful acronyms that make it into the civilian populace. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. That's just a pretty simple and tight story that we could have kept going with. We didn't need to over-convolute this.
They didn't need to keep stating the exact reason why she was after Henry every single time she appeared on screen.
Also, here's the other thing. I'm going to go ahead and point out right now. We didn't need Kathleen to be like this, especially because we're already going to get a character like this later on in season 2.
Yeah.
We don't need Kathleen because we're going to get Abby. We don't need Kathleen because Abby already is going to occur. She's going to be very much like this character, and she's going to have a far more concrete motivation for what she's going to do. And her reason for doing what she did is going to give Ellie motivation of a similar nature. That is going to be like, it's going to be something. Just Kathleen ain't got shit on what is going to happen with Abby and Ellie later on. So this is just overly convoluted and was unnecessary. And it felt like it detracted from Henry and Sam. And it felt like it made what happened with Henry and Sam later on less impactful because we didn't get enough time with Henry and Sam. And that's sad because we weren't going to get enough time with Henry and Sam anyway because of how limited a television series is in comparison to a video game. We just don't have enough time with them anyway because gameplay. But even if we take out gameplay and just stick to the general narrative structure of the video game versus, let's be honest, one episode of a television series, if you stuff all this crap with Kathleen in, you're whittling it down even further. So we need as much time as we can to spend with Henry and Sam spending time with Joel and Ellie. We really needed that. We absolutely did. We needed that bonding experience because it makes the events that take place much more impactful. And it feels like it lessened things to a degree toward the end. I'm not saying what happened at the end did not still hurt. It did. But here's the thing. When I come back and I rewatch this, because I've already rewatched that scene multiple times with reactors and everything, and somebody brought up a good point. When they watched this on the television series, at the end, they cried. But they only cried that once. Whereas in the video game, every time they watch it, they cry. But with the show, they're only going to cry that one time. Every time they rewatch it, it only hits them the first time. Because they only have so much time with those characters. After that, it's over. Okay. Back to the other things. Ish! We got Ish! And I was not, based on how things were going and how tight everything was going to be, I was not expecting we were going to get Ish. Ish is something that we get in the game that's kind of like, there's this underground kind of community thing that we experience that's actually outside of the city in the Pittsburgh area. And Ish is kind of a thing that we encounter in notes in the game.
And
so,
drawings.
And drawings and stuff like that. So it's actually kind of interesting that we get Ish. And the way that we actually experience like this room or what have you in the actual show is actually more spread out in this underground area. So it was nice that we got to experience all those different little parts in at least one congruent area. It's nice. And I can't wait for you to experience that for yourself later, Moon. It's going to be nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be a different experience, but it's going to be so nice when you get to play it and you're like, "Oh, hey, that's from that." You know, it's going to be so nice. You're going to be that Leo pointing meme.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Most of your experience is
I
gonna be the
love
Leo
that
pointing
meme.
Also, the comics. Oh, we finally got the comics, the Savage Starlight comics.
Finally.
And I love how prevalent that was throughout this episode, especially the title of the episode, Endure and Survive.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely loved. Also, I loved how much Ellie and Sam bonded this episode because that was something that needed to happen. Otherwise, the ending would not have been impactful at all.
Yeah.
If they did not bond, it just would not have hit nearly hard enough.
If you become a monster, is it still you?
Buddy. Yeah, that needed to happen. All right.
And
So yeah, didn't get
as
enough
you
time.
see Ellie and Sam, bond and have fun, you can see Joel melting a little and letting his guard down little by little.
Yeah.
And showing more of a human side.
Okay, once again, didn't get enough time with Henry and Sam.
Oh no,
that's
nowhere near.
100% sure. I will say one of the things that I miss, we didn't get, and this is one of those things I'm going to point out. Sadly, because we went through the residential area at night, we missed out on some interesting dialogue that occurred in the game. One of the things that, because in the game you go through during daytime, and there's some interesting stuff that both Sam and Ellie bring up that was not around for this. So you got to realize these are two kids that grew up after the apocalypse. So some of the stuff is just bizarre to them, like barbecues, cookouts, or seeing a fucking ice cream truck. And Ellie's like, "What the fuck is an ice cream truck?" And like Joel trying to explain the concept of an ice cream truck to somebody that was born after the apocalypse, or a couple of dogs just out in the wild playing with each other, and she's like, "Oh, doggies," and he's like, these are feral dogs. Don't go up to them. These aren't like dogs in the QZ." Like, stuff like that. So, it's not just, this is what I'm talking about when I say, even if we cut out the gameplay stuff, because you have to understand, it's not just cutscenes. There's stuff that happens as you're just walking around doing stuff that is dialogue during gameplay. Here's the thing. When Ellie actually pulls out the book for the first time and reads jokes to you, that's not a cutscene. That's something that happens just...
Yeah, it's just regular banter.
That's actually like something that happens as idle dialogue in game. After a big fight in what is essentially kind of a library area in the beginning of Pittsburgh. She pulls out a book and just starts reading, and Joel's like, "The fuck are you doing?" Like, yeah, it's great. Not to mention, and I'm a little sad we didn't get this, but it's one of those cute little things that happens in the game that starts out one way and then eventually she figures it out, whistling. Ellie, over the course of the game, learns to whistle. She starts out not knowing how to whistle, and then by the end of the game, she learns to whistle.
I love it.
Yeah. And another thing that's really cool, but like is something that, and it got brought up in the second episode, but by the second game is fixed. Swimming. Ellie doesn't know how to swim in the first game, and by the second game, she knows how to swim. Yeah. All right. Ending was great.
Oh God, yeah, the ending.
By that, now again, there are things that I think the show does that adds to things. There's small things, like again, Sam being deaf, I think was a choice that actually improves upon what the game did. Another thing, the child clickers. Holy shit, that was creepy. We needed more of that.
Yes.
Man, if that had been in the game, how scary that shit would have been. Yeah, that horde
because
busting
you
out
turn
of it.
around, you don't immediately see it.
Dude,
right here.
it wasn't just that. It wasn't just that. That freaking kid clicker in that van.
Oh, yeah.
Contorting into that van and like gymnast flipping over those seats. Good God. Pay that actress good. I hope they paid that actress good. She was good and terrifying. Also, Ellie trying to save Sam was the one change that really, really worked well in that scene. I actually liked the fact that, because, all right, guys, this isn't us spoiling something. We actually already showed him the difference in that cutscene, because I was like, we're going to have to talk about this on the show, so I might as well go ahead and show him the cutscene. So we did show the difference in that. But I wanted him to know, because there was one thing that I said, hey, this is more impactful. And it was Henry's reaction to shooting Sam in the video game, that I thought was more impactful than his reaction in the show. Alrighty. Now, I will straight up say that I think that it was a better choice to have Sam show her that he was infected instead of hiding it from everybody and then surprise them in the morning with it. And Ellie try to give him her blood and try to save him, and then it turned out no. God, that hurt more, honestly. I was more affected by that. But I think that Henry's reaction in the game was stronger. So it's kind of a win-lose there. I think if we'd had Henry's strong reaction in the game and Ellie's Ellie's actions in the show, I think it would have just been phenomenal that way. But again, that's just my opinion. What do you guys think?
I will agree with you, actually.
Well, you don't have to agree.
Because
Oh, I fully
I know.
agree. It hit harder
like-
when. Oh, go ahead, man.
sorry, it did hit much harder when I'd seen the game cutscene, because there's a big difference between him holding the gun at Joel and saying, "What did I do?" and he's kind of whispering that, whereas in the game he was kind of yelling, "What did you do? Why did this happen? Why did you do this?" And you're sitting there like, "Oh God, what is he about to do?"
Because you're not
And then he
sure
turned
what
it on
he's gonna
himself.
do. Yeah, you're not sure.
Yeah,
he's like, this is all your fault. This is all your fault. And you're thinking he's gonna kill Joel, and then he turns the gun on himself and shoots himself, and you're like, oh shit, he was talking about Henry was talking about himself. And it's so like, once you realize that, and it's so quick, and it's like, wow.
And you don't get much time to take it in. It's just that happens next scene.
Yeah. But I will say that's kind of the downfall of the game, is that they don't give you time. Whereas the show, I do like that they give you time. There is the burying of their bodies, and that's the extra stab to the heart, is like her writing "I'm sorry" on his little pad and dropping it there. It's like, oh, and then this is like the first trauma that Ellie really experiences on the journey, because like she's immediately like, which way is west? And you can see that she's already starting to close herself up, while Joel is trying to open up and be like the father figure for her. Man.
I will say it's not how Henry and Sam went out that hurt. It's I'm sorry. That
hurt. It's Ellie's reaction to the trauma.
And Ellie realizing that maybe she's not as special as she was led to believe.
Or yeah, in a way. Yeah. I gotta also say, my closing statements, when it is similar to the game, it is wonderful with the small changes. I will also say this: the horde was amazing. Oh my God! Here's the other thing. One of the things that was priceless, when the bloater came out and it killed. I'm calling him Tommy. I know I know that's not his name.
He had a different name, but he was the voice of Tommy in the game.
Well, he was the performance actor for Tommy too. But how he went out like this, that's actually one of the death animations in the game if you get killed by the bloater.
Yep.
Oh,
it just
God.
rips the top half of your head off.
It rips the top half of your head off. That is literally one of the death animations. That's how true to the game they were being in that moment. It's so good. It's so good.
And when the horde first came through the ground,
oh God,
that was a mixture of CG and practical. Which
it's so good.
So good.
So good.
And it actually shows how and why the military failed.
Last but not least, here's the thing. Here's the other thing. That was so satisfying. And even, all right, here's the other thing. This is where my pitch against Kathleen comes from. All I needed to know, I didn't need to go into all that detail about Kathleen. Didn't need to know anything. All I needed to know was that this is the leader of the hunters. They had it out for Henry. They were gunning for Henry this whole time. Didn't need to know a lot about them. Just that this is the motherfucker that's hunting down Henry. And that they want it. And all I needed to know was they were going to kill the kids. The moment I knew that they were not going to let the kids go, they were going to kill the kids. That's all the motivation I needed to be completely satisfied when that child clicker just went to town on him. I would have had the same level of satisfaction from that scene. No matter what.
I think it would have been a bit more satisfying, because like if they saved that bomb to drop when it was like, just don't hurt Sam, and she would say, like, if we had no build up to this and she said, oh, I'm sorry, but he's connected to you, so that's not going to happen, that would be like, kill this bitch. Just fucking kill her. It would make it hit so much harder.
And because of her and her choices, now that horde is heading off to the survivors.
It's like no, here's the thing. It's like simply put, it was like, how about this? It was like, just let the kids go. It was like, we can't afford to keep 2 more mouths to feed. Just that alone. Just that alone. Yeah. We can't afford to feed 2 more. And just that alone, just on a basic, just like, how fucking heartless are you that you can't even afford 2 little mouths? And it's like, all right. Somebody would have been like, Joel, put a bullet through that guy's brain. Guy, girl, whatever. Just a heartless decision. It's just whatever. It's like, you'd have been just as satisfied. We didn't need all that extra story.
I was hoping Joel would shoot her. Just get her.
He was getting ready to, and then the truck started going down. That's when he stopped.
Yeah. My favorite reaction to this was coming from Previewed with Adam. He was like, Adam was just sitting there going, I'm on Team Mushroom right now. Because he was like, and this was before the car sank. As soon as she was like, I'm sorry, and she was talking about killing the kids, Adam was just like, I'm on Team Mushroom right now. I'm rooting for the infected. Where's Team Mushroom? And I was like,
what?
This is why we're rooting for the Mushroom Kingdom in The Last of Us. We're pro Mario here. We're rooting for the Mushroom Kingdom.
Oh God. What if they tie in the Mario movie to The Last of Us?
I'm just saying, they already have. Did you not see Saturday Night Live? It's a me.
Yes, true.
It's a me. Bro,
and like I said, Pedro Pascal will be a
Pedro Pascal. Mario. Did you not see that skit? Pedro Pascal's The Last of Us, but it's Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's a me.
He also plays a very good overprotective mother.
All right, so for episode 5, and it's mostly because of like all the Kathleen stuff and how it dragged down the episode, and it was absolutely unneeded. I give episode 5 an 8 out of 10. It is such a juxtaposition with episode 3. Episode 3 was a perfect example of how, if you have a good story to tell, you can stray from the story of the game. However, episode 4 and 5 are an absolutely abject example of how maybe you shouldn't stray too far from the game if you don't have an absolute amazing story to tell. And they did not have a good enough story to tell that justified straying from the game. And here's the thing. They had a great story to tell from the game, but they did not have a good enough reason to divert from the story. Yeah. And I'm just like, it's like, it was overly convoluted and was ultimately unnecessary, and it did not serve to enhance the story. It did not enhance the story. It actually did the opposite. It kind of detracted from the things that were good about the overall story.
The government is all Nazis.
Yeah, well, now, but not then. Again, Bill and Frank were just the best.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
To me, you're giving
Philip were already in the bottle, weren't they?
Alrighty.
Enough to kill a horse.
It's time to talk about Vox Machina and the last 3 episodes.
Yeah,
guys, it is.
We finally got the long-awaited butthole scene.
If you guys have somehow heard, and because apparently there's a rumor going around that there are 14 episodes in season 2. There's not. It's only 12.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only 12. Yeah, I don't know where any of you heard this from, but yeah. Okay, episode 10. One of my favorite episodes because the band's back together, baby. Grog versus Uncle Kevdak. Good old Unky Kevdak.
Hell yeah, that was a damn good.
We get the band back together, and Scanlan plays some more metal. And it is metal AF.
Absolutely.
And I love that a lot of this actually kind of flows with the campaign. We get the whole crew back together, and then we get the Herd versus Vox Machina, and Vox Machina in epic fashion fucks shit up, and
at Grog's request or Grog's order.
Very much at Grog's request.
It wasn't much of a request. He was ordering them to fuck shit up.
No, that's how Grog makes requests.
He's like
That is very
Thor
much
when
how
he first
Grog
comes to the
makes
human
requests.
world. Another.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't seen the first Thor.
What?
Dude, the last Marvel movie I watched was Avengers, I think.
Okay.
You really need to catch up. Yeah.
It's a lot of good shit that happened.
There's-
I will
there's-
say you can kind of skip the Thor movie because the first Thor was short.
It's not
It
bad.
also
sorry.
needed to be
The
shorter. It's not
last
bad.
Marvel
It's
movie I
not
watched
bad,
was
but still.
Love and Thunder.
Okay, that's not bad.
Okay, that's
At least
fine. Yeah.
that's at least soonish.
And then before that was Avengers.
What?
Yeah, I watched Avengers, then Love and Thunder. I skipped everything between.
You have missed a lot, my friend.
I keep being told that.
Okay, there's this thing called Disney Plus.
Go
There's
catch
this
up.
thing called no source of income right now.
Oh well.
I mean, okay.
Okay. I mean, I
Hence why you don't have Dead Space yet.
yeah, that's probably true. By the way,
How much
Only
money you
$20
got?
more dollars and Richie can play Dead Space.
yeah, that's also true. Anyway,
Woo!
yeah, there's that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to Vox Machina. So,
Yes.
I love how Vex proposes ideas to Grog. She's like, "You want to try something crazy?" And Grog's like, "Fuck yeah!" God damn.
Mm-hmm.
And then she puts him in the necklace, goes up real high, drops him from the necklace. Funny enough, actually in canon.
Yep.
And then brings the axe down on Kevdak, and that is canonically exactly how Kevdak died.
So
Although it was very metal how Kevdak gets his arm kind of cut off, he just takes it and smacks Grog with it.
And leave it to Grog to go, "That is badass." Yeah,
Once again, also that arm scene was in the campaign too.
yeah, in canon.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
100%.
great.
100% in canon. Yeah,
Oh, that's great.
yeah. Great shit.
But since Grog was in the necklace, does that make Grog a Pokemon now?
Yes,
Yes. Who's that Pokemon?
it's Grog.
Grog!
Strong Jaw. No.
Yeah, that's my bad.
He actually did, again, keeping in canon, he said Strongjaw as he came down and cut that motherfucker in twain. And the axe did...
Split Roman Zero in twain!
All right, anyway. So, yeah, that's kind of canon. And he did, in fact, make his cousin the leader of the herd and was like, "So, I'm going to go kill a dragon. Want to come?" And yeah. And the episode ended kind of in the fashion of how that episode actually ended, with Scanlan finding out he was an actual dad.
Yeah.
I love that. He's like,
love
"I'm
the-
daddy?" God damn it. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it took
daddy,
him a
all
minute.
right. Yeah.
I wish they would have had like the whole conversation Scanlan had with Kaylee where he pulled it all right out of his ass right then and there.
Also,
And that was the reason why she didn't kill him.
Also, I want you to understand something. I want you to understand something really, really quickly about episode 11. One major difference. I don't know if they had to change this because of the show, but the sword, dagger, whatever it was, wasn't a sword or a dagger. It was the immovable rod. That was what was inside of Umbrasyl's stomach. It was the fucking immovable rod. Yeah. So just...
He changed it to a sword.
I don't know why.
Well, where did they get the immovable rod?
Oh. I think they got that earlier on when they were fighting the Illithid.
From the motherfucking
So that might
GM.
be why.
From the motherfucking GM. Where do you get anything?
True. Either way, that's probably why they changed it to a sword so it would
Right.
make sense for what's her face to carry it. And
I summed up episode 10.
Yes.
Moon, it is your turn to sum up episode 11.
Episode 11. A lot of fun with that one. Percy sitting here explaining how this whole trap works for the trap that they're setting up for the dragon. And all the barbarians sitting there just like, And then Grog helps. "You dig here." Oh. Percy. He's like, no, there's so much more to the trap, though. You have to understand. No, they don't. Anyways, then after that, we get the dragon. They manage to get him trapped, and he busts out, of course. Starts laying waste to all the red shirts. I mean barbarians. And it's a battle. It's a good battle. And then Scanlan's sitting there. It's like, okay, I gotta be brave. I have something to live for now. Gets Vex. Yeah, Vexeldan. Yeah, Vex. To go with him.
It's Vex.
Up the dragon's anus.
It's Vex. Vexalia and Vexeldan.
God fucking fuck.
He's
Whichever
Vex.
one.
She's Vex.
Okay. Anyways, gets Vex, and they go up the dragon's butt, which is a pretty smart idea. The scales are not on the inside, so just start cutting some shit up, you know? It doesn't work that well. They put the immovable sword, in this case, in there.
Is it 10 or 11 where Vex goes to the Bloody Temple?
That was, I think, 10.
Yeah, that was 10.
Shit!
It was, they went to the temple while
The
Percy
Bloody
was playing
Temple!
his trap.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that was 11.
Yeah.
It was 11, yeah. Beginning of 11, because they went to the temple
Okay.
while Percy was doing his whole trap explanation thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah.
You dig here. And then Percy puts his hand on the trap.
Yeah.
Not very smart,
that's
is
so
he?
good.
Like, God damn it.
Anyways, yeah. So the blood temple thing that he was talking about, Vax goes to talk to the matron of ravens, and she's sitting there like, dude, just don't fight it, just
Embrace
one
your
with it.
destiny.
And he's like, I will. So
Okay.
he does. And Dragon pulls a ballsy move. The immovable sword that's in
okay.
his gut.
It's not my
he's
blood.
like, okay, fuck this. Stands all the way up, and it just comes right at him. That's pain. It's a heartbreak you'll never forget. Or actually,
I said,
anyway.
what? Up the butt. Oh, hang on. On my screen, you've kind of...
Holy shit.
Yeah, wow.
Huh. Let me try a thing.
Okay. Hold on a
Has it
second.
changed
We're
at all?
experiencing technical difficulties. All right, there we are. You're
Okay.
back.
Anyway. Well then. But yeah, Dragon starts flying off without a care in the world, and then acid starts forming up where Vax and Scanlan are, so they gotta get the fuck out. Unfortunately, they're also extremely high up in the air. Then they start falling, and thanks to the armor and Vax's newfound appreciation for the fate that he must embrace, he gets wings and saves Scanlan from falling. And that's pretty much everything that happens in episode 11, I think. Did I miss anything?
At the end of episode 11, Umbrasyl was inside the cave with Ripley, and he was healing himself.
Yes. He apparently can cast Cure Wounds or something.
Yes. And then episode 12.
Yeah.
Scanlan had his whole existential, however the hell you say that word, crisis. I suck at American English, apparently. Vax was trying to convince him that, hey, it's fate, we can't change it, we gotta just go along with it, and Scanlan was being, Scanlan, thinking for himself, scared, trying to convince everybody to leave. Yeah. So Scanlan stays outside, everybody else is just like, dude, you gotta man the fuck up, and just goes in to fight Umbrasyl.
Yep.
Sorry, I read chat.
Yeah.
So the fight between Umbrasyl and most of Vox Machina was really one-sided. To be 100% honest, they got their shit fucked. Throughout the fight, I should say, Umbrasyl managed to get Fenthris from Vex after he knocked her off her broom, and got the Titanstone Knuckles off Grog, who just got them from Kevdak. And Umbrasyl was doing his whole villain monologue thing that always signals the end of their life or their soon-to-be defeat.
Yep.
And then Scanlan shows up, correcting Umbrasyl when Umbrasyl said he delivered me 3 vestiges. Scanlan corrects him, saying, 2, motherfucker. I'm taking this back. Sticks him in the eye, sings, and boom. Fucking, I don't remember what it was in the campaign, but just like a holy bolt, I'm just calling it that, out the other side of Umbrasyl's head, like half of it missing. And
Apparently
then Umbrasyl falls on Scanlan.
Because it shoots lasers.
Yes. Everybody was obviously concerned about Scanlan's well-being. Pike thought he died and was doing this and that, and I can't remember much else because I was really, really drunk yesterday.
Yeah, we like that.
But Scanlan lived, everybody was really fucked up, and they came across Dragon's Hoard, and Vex was super happy because Vex likes money.
Yep. Lots of gold. And a magic key. The magic
Yes,
floating
a
key.
magic floating key that Scanlan claimed for his own because he's the one who did most of the work, apparently.
Piece of shit.
And at the very... Sorry, getting distracted by chat again.
Yeah, me too.
Very end, you had Raishan make her appearance in Whitestone, putting Lady Kima, Allura, Cassandra, and Gilmore all to sleep using the wine, and offered an alliance with Vox Machina, and that's where it ends.
Mm-hmm. And woof. The lady playing that dragon, beautiful job. She sounds amazing.
Yes.
And every time I hear her voice, I think of a handful of characters, one of which being number 5. I grew up with Codename Kids Next Door.
Good old K&D.
Hell yeah. But yeah, fantastic. These 3 episodes were great.
Can't wait for season 3, and I believe they are signed up for a season 4 already.
I think they're signed up for a season of Mighty Nine, yeah.
Yes, they are coming out with the first season of the Mighty Nine, which also will be fantastic, let's face it.
I've started watching a bunch of clips from really just all the campaigns, and I saw...
There's actually Critical Role recap episodes, which condense everything to like 15-minute clips. I will actually find that and shoot you a link to it.
That'll be nice.
That would be the easiest way for you to catch up.
I don't want to spend hours on this stuff. I would love to. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure it's a lot of fun, but
okay. Yeah, this is just from campaign 2. They don't have anything for campaign 1 yet that I can find. There you are. There's the link.
Cool. Good.
And that's an entire playlist.
Lovely. Making my life easy.
Yes. It basically just touches on all of the, basic things and the important stuff while maintaining some of the comedy. And now back to an earlier conversation we had about manga and stuff that's really good to read and really hard to find. Okay. I'm still trying to find the Gundam 8th MS Team manga. It only had 3 volumes. I know.
Hi.
But it is still so hard to find, and I want it.
Okay. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Have we finished 11 now?
We also finished
11
12.
and 12.
Oh.
Yes.
I thought... Well, I was going to... Fenris, did you do 12?
Yes.
Good. All right, so...
We followed the format you set up.
Okay, cool.
Without telling us.
I figured you picked up on what I was throwing down.
You did 10, and so you sent me 11, and I'm like, okay, so he's going to do 12. I got you.
Yeah. All right, you picked up on what I was putting down.
Yes,
so there we are, guys.
I also sent Moon the Critical Role recap playlist for Campaign 2.
Oh, boy. Oh, well, yeah. I did show... Moon saw the cupcake.
Yes, with the dust of deliciousness.
Yes.
which was just a beautiful scene. I share with her, and then
Just-
it's like she eats it. That, by the way, that has the dust of deliciousness. And Matt's face just,
No, he's like, remind me what that does again.
yeah.
And then he's like, wisdom saving throws, and then she does, and then there was like the whole, it's a disadvantage, but she has advantage against magical. So it's just a straight roll. Shit, because he rolled a 2.
2. Yep.
Just the fucking journey of
Yeah.
Yes.
that facial journey. Did it? Yep.
It's. Oh, and I think didn't we watch Ganlin the Deceiver?
Yeah.
Scanlan the Wide Deceiver,
Yeah.
and the return of
Yes.
No Mercy Percy.
Oh yes.
When he rolled his
245 points of damage. Or
249 points of damage against the Godling in the search for Grog.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was
Oh, man.
ridiculous.
No mercy, Percy.
Mm-hmm. There's a reason he's called that.
Because man, he does a shit ton of damage.
Level 20 fighters, bitch.
Yeah.
Also, here's the thing. This is what's scary, okay? All right. Percy is known as the nega version of Will Wheaton because Percy, or rather
Taliesin
himself, is kind of the nega Wheaton because he rolls a lot of nat 20s,
Yeah, he does.
especially in campaign 1.
Mm.
Or rather it was really funny because Matt described Will Wheaton as the nega Percy.
Yeah, Will Wheaton's curse terrifies me. I
It
will
is.
never shake
Oh
his
yeah.
hand.
Oh dude, if you have not seen it, it is so funny.
I did. I looked it up way later. I watched a whole bunch of clips, and it's like he's
Yeah.
playing D&D, 1s, 2s, 5 maybe, and then he's playing a different game where you want to roll 1s, 20s, 19, 18, 15. What? It's
the funniest
hurts.
thing. The funniest thing, he
terrifying.
only rolls it when it counts, right?
Yeah.
Because they're
And
like,
then it's like anytime
hey,
outside of that, it's
hey,
like 20,
in the show.
5.
Hey,
Like,
roll the 1 to end the show. Rolls 19. Yep.
yep.
Or
'Cause it doesn't count.
what was it? Didn't Will touch like Laura or Marisha's dice, and then they started rolling like shit that night?
Mm-hmm.
There was a thing where before they started shooting an episode with a huge battle, Will Wheaton actually went in there and touched all of Matt's dice. It was like, if they die, I don't want anyone blaming me. That was what Will said.
Do you want to know what battle it was?
Yeah, which one?
You've seen the episode.
I have.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the Vecna fight?
Mm-mm.
Was it the Godling?
Mm-mm. It was Kevdak.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
It was Grog and Vox Machina versus Kevdak.
And to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
that Will probably saved at least
Yeah.
1 or 2 characters that night.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
It was literally the fight against Kevdak.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. I told you you'd seen the episode.
They should have had a Will Wheaton cameo for that episode. That would have been great. Especially if it was like what they do with Matt Mercer. Just draw Will Wheaton in there somewhere. Like make him a Goliath or something.
No, here's the funny thing. Here's my headcanon. I believe that Will Wheaton was in season 2 of Vox Machina. Because Will Wheaton's character was in the Slayer's Take.
Mm.
My headcanon is that Will Wheaton was the guy in the wheelchair.
Oh, that would make so much sense.
Right?
Yeah, it would. Oh,
Will Wheaton's
shit.
the guy in the wheelchair. He'd have to be for all the nat ones.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Why are you in a wheelchair? Oh, I rolled a nat 1 to get out of bed this morning.
So
Oh my
are your
God.
legs broken or no? I can't stand. great.
I just can't stand for this day. I just can't stand this day.
What could you make another roll to see if it gets better?
No.
No, he does. It's a 2.
All right. Well, guys, that is today's Anime Church. I hope you've all enjoyed it. We've had a silly old time. I'm sorry for the amount of times that I've had to go out and pee. I've been drinking a lot. Clearly. Yeah.
He has a bit of a drinking problem.
I do. Yeah, it's only a problem when I run out.
Have you seen Airplane? If I wasn't wearing a suit, right?
But thank you guys so much for coming by and hanging out. It's been a long episode. That's part of the reason why. But yeah, guys, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming by. We will see you next time. Have yourselves a lovely, lovely day. And until then, keep watching more anime. Once again, please go vote on the Patreon if you have not done so already for what series you would like to see me start watching. This Thursday, I will be watching that series from the beginning. So if you haven't come by and voted on that, please make sure you do. Right now, I believe that the series that is winning is...
I think you said it was like Eminence of the Darkness or something.
Eminence in Shadow, I believe, is the series that's winning. I think Made in Abyss is the... Oh, somebody followed us on Twitch, because I think that's the one that's... No, that's YouTube socials. Oh, thank you for the follow on YouTube. Thank you so much.
Subscribe, but yeah.
Subscribe, that's right. They don't follow us. They don't follow on YouTube. I have to get out of Twitch brain real quick. Eminence in Shadow is winning.
All right.
All right.
There it is.
Eminence in Shadow, Made in Abyss, My Isekai Life, Call of the Night has no votes. I'm very surprised about that. And then Vermil in Gold. These are all High Dive series right now that I'm voting on because I've been watching all the Crunchyroll stuff and I've kind of been neglecting the High Dive stuff, except for, of course, I have been watching and keeping up with, or at least I caught up with,
again,
Danmachi.
Huh?
Trigun is Crunchyroll, dude. Of course I've been watching it. That having been said, though, guys, thank you so much. Go vote! And I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye!
Bye-bye!